Good evening, all. Today, we are going to deal with an important area of project management training. And as you can see in the slide, it's estimation and rate analysis. Now, if you Google for the term estimation, you'll get a lot of definitions, and one I have copied for you. Just in short, just understand that estimation is finding or determining the quantity of resources required for completing a work. Now, as you see in this definition, it is written as it is a technique of estimating the various quantity of work, expected expense to be incurred in a particular work in order to execute the project. So there are two parts. There are quantities and expenses. Now, estimation deals with the three M's, that is men, material, and money. We can categorize this as the resources in order to complete a project. That's why I said resources required to complete a project. Now, when do we actually do an estimation? To be exact, we do it when we plan in order to start a project. Right before starting the project in site, we'll have the estimate prepared in order to make ourselves ready in order to start the project. Now, is estimation, once we have done the estimation, is it okay to continue with this till the end? In my opinion, it's not true. Like, once estimation is done, everything is not over. You will have to update it whenever required. Whenever required. How can we decide when it is required to update estimation? There are various conditions, like if there is a change in plan of the building, if there is a change in any material, then suppose there is a change in rate of a material, all these conditions can cause a change in the estimated quantities. So these are instances where you have to update the estimation as per the change in your project. Okay. Now, estimation updation can be done in various stages and in various ways. Now, there are 12 different types of estimation methods. I won't be going through all these methods today because you will be learning this in your next year, probably in your sixth semester. And you can, if you are curious enough, you can Google them also. I'll simply say that the best method of estimation will be the one comfortable to you. And in that method, you will be able to determine the exact or proper quantity estimation can be done, as well as rate analysis can be done. So as I've said now, estimation has two major. The first is of quantities, and the second one is the rate analysis part. Now we'll look into each of this in detail. Um, I think someone is unmute. Can you please move? Can please mute on? Okay. Who was that? I think I will. Okay. I'll be continuing. There are two main parts of estimation, as I said earlier, that is the quantity part and the rate analysis part. First, we'll look into the quantity part. There are three different levels for estimation. The first level or the first dimension is the first part. And I'll say it is a linear quantity estimation. Linear quantity estimation, like the length, is associated with the length, width, and thickness of a component, element, a structural entity. Okay. For example, when we are planning to execute pile construction in our site, we won't determine the volume required for concreting the pile actual. It will be the length of pile for which the pile contractors will quote the rate. That is, when in order to find how much material is required for concreting, you will have to find the volume of the pile. But in other terms, when we are trying to collect the estimate from a contractor who would be constructing the pile in site, they would go with the term running meters. That is the length or depth of the pile. Okay, that is the instance where you are using length over the volume. Then the next dimension is 2D. In 2D, you will be finding the area related to that quantity. For an example, you can consider the plastering works. Plastering works are associated with the area covered or the area to be plastered. Similar is the condition for painting, texture work. Like all these are area based quantities. The thickness is very negligible, so we'll be addressing them in terms of area. So they are there we are covering only two dimensions. Now on to the third dimension or 3D. Now here volume of that particular component is found out. For instance, we can look into the volume of concrete required for casting a column, beams, slats, etc. And even staircases, they are estimated based on the volume of the quantity. So from this, you can understand that not all, it's not always finding the volume. It's not always finding the area. It's not always the length. It would depend on what work is associated with it. Are we going to deal with a concrete work where we need to use the area or the volume or the length? Like length is in the case of the pile construction and volume is in the case of the column construction, and area associated with the plastering of the building. Now, identify which dimension is suitable for construction, for estimation is a major part of estimation. Now, the key to quantity estimation is identifying which dimension you are dealing with, and this determining the dimension is in turn dependent on the rate analysis of the work, because we are specifying the rate of material based on the quantity, or quantity is depending on the rate. They are interdependent to be exact. Now, we have covered the quantity part. Now on to the rate analysis part. In the rate analysis part, by hearting rate analysis is not that easy. But when you keep practicing rate analysis or estimations, then you will learn some rates by heart while practicing. But by hearting everything is not that possible. And if I give an instance, you can do the rate analysis for brickwork based masonry and rubble masonry also. So here brick and rubble is a varying entity. The thickness of wall will be the same, but the materials are changing, hence the rate can also vary. There are such instances where we can have we are dealing with the same work, that is brick masonry work, but based on the material we are having two different types of estimations, that is estimation for brick masonry and estimation for rubble masonry, wherein the rate is the varying part, not the quantity. So estimation as a whole, we cannot say it's a fixed thing. It will depend on which resource or material you're using. If you're changing the material, the rate analysis changes, and in turn it will affect on the estimate. Similarly, the method of executing the work. If you are depending on labor, that is manual physical labor, like men, women are employed, like when you come to civil engineering, we'll call them masons, rebar workers, barbenders, fitters, weldar, bishti. These are the terms used to identify the labor force inside. So as I was saying, execution of work is also a part of rate analysis, wherein you have to decide whether you are employing people to complete the work, or you're going to employ people and machineries, a combination to complete a work. I'll give another example. You're supposed to cast a slab for a building. You can do it either way. You can employ 10 people to mix and place the concrete, or you can use 2 people. You can use 5 people and a machine in order to cast the slab. This is an alternative. Like you can reduce the number of men and increase the number of machineries, or you can use only men. The choice of that method of casting the slab will decide what will be the rate of executing that particular work. So what all we learned? We learned that estimation has two parts. First one is the quantity part, wherein we have 3 dimensions, and these 3 dimensions are selected based on the rate analysis. And when we come to the rate analysis, therein it is decided by two other parts, that is the material as well as the method of execution of work. Now, coming on to the rate analysis part, as I said, by hearting everything is not a solution. So, you knowing the basics is very important. And there are many references which you can rely on in order to get a proper rate analysis. And one such reference is the Delhi analysis of rates for Delhi, issued by the Central Public Works Department. You can see the image of the same on the screen. That first one is shortly called as DAR. The volume I have shown is 2021, and that is the latest volume available. And for the rate of materials, we are using the Delhi Schedule of Rates. These are two reliable references I would suggest. There are many other sources available in websites you can rely on, but I won't say everything will be correct. This one is the best option you can go for when you are dealing with rate analysis in India. Now on to the rate analysis part. I'll just show what these documents hold on rather than just saying what it is. Okay, now I'll open one. Firstly, I'll say what which is a document you had to relay for the rate of materials. Like, how will you know what is the rate of one brick, rate of one bag of cement? You can either Google it, but mostly you might get misleading values. Okay, so better you can go for DSR, or you can go for reliable market sources like Indiamart is one reliable source, but there too you have to make sure you are selecting the right material and right vendor in order to get the right rate. Okay, so I would suggest go with DSR. But since DSR's latest version is 2021, your rate will be lower than the current market rate. So you can use percentage like 15% increment in order to cater that difference in rates, which might be a approximation but not an exact rate. Okay. Now coming on to the DSR. Now this is the first page where you can see the name. You can just note down this name and do the reference later. And I can also share this in your group in order to access it easily. Now this document, it has a list of rates, like from beginning to end. I'll just tile it and show you. From beginning to end, it's a list of rates. All from the first page to the end, we have list of rates for every material and even list of rate for executing certain works. Like from the first side, if you look into, okay, I'll just slow down a bit and show you some examples. Now, just as I said earlier, we'll use the term Bishti, blacksmith, chowkidar, beldar, coolie, etc. for the labor associated with various construction activities. And you can see the rate per day for these people. Now, this is a rate per day, not the rate for executing 1 m cube of work or 1 square feet of work. It is a rate you have to pay in order to employ them for 1 day. Now, there are various classifications. We just generally call them labors, but it's not the same when it comes to DSR or DAR. There are where they have particular terms or names given to each workers. Then coming on to the materials, as I said earlier, there are endless list of materials available here. If at all your material requirement is not matching, you can find a similar material and use the rate. It won't be much different if the material, like if you're looking for a pipe with a 6 mm diameter and the 8 mm diameter pipe is available here, the slight variation you can adjust. Okay. This is just a reference. I won't say this is a correct exact market rate, but this is a reference wherein you can understand. You won't go completely wrong. You will have an 90-95% closer value when we refer this one. Now there are a lot you can go through, which I'll share this document for that. Like you can see the rate for soft brush, wire brush, the brick bats, wire brush, soft brush. All these rates are given here. The rate is per piece. That is, if you're taking one brush, the rate is 20 rupees. And this is This is the rate of year 2021. Okay, just keep that in mind. Then Portland cement, OPC grade 43, rate per ton. You have to make note that always unit is an important part in estimation. If you go wrong with the units, you'll go wrong with the entire estimation. Instead of spending 10 rupees, you will be spending 10,000 rupees, which is totally wrong. So make sure that you're dealing with the right unit and the correct rate also. Now coming to the other side where you have the rate analysis. Now herein we are dealing with okay, here even rate for carriage of material is also given here. Just zoom in and see your part. Carriage of material, higher charges for diesel truck, coolie, beldar, meat, like all these are given here. The carriage charge for materials is given here. Like earth, what is the rate for 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, 3 kilometer? What is the rate? You can refer from here. Why is carriage of materials so important? Does anyone know the answer? Like one of you can unmute and say, why is carriage of material so important that it's given in this record? You can just give a wild guess. Okay. Should I pick one or you will just respond? Elna Babu, please unmute and say. I think she left. Okay. Just someone, if you know why is it why carriage is an important part of estimation? Anyone? Aishwarya, if you can just unmute and respond, it would be good. Hello? It's very poor performance. Okay, as we had said earlier, these responses counts because you will be getting points which would be rewarded later. So I think if this is an opportunity you can use. Okay, I think I will continue with my answer. Why is carriage of materials so important? Okay, suppose I am buying a material. For instance, I'm buying one bag of cement and the material is bought from Chennai. I am residing in Ernakulam and the transportation cost came nearly 1,000 rupees. This is an assumption, not an exact value. Similarly, suppose I am going to start construction of my house in Delhi. I'm purchasing cement from the same company in Chennai. Will that cost of carriage will be 1,000 itself? It won't be. It would be nearly 5,000 or even more. Okay, so the distance from which the material is transported has a major role in the rate of material, and it would also affect the project cost. Like when you are constructing with locally available materials, you can cut down the cost of a construction to a large extent. Similarly, if you're importing, if you are using Italian marbles directly imported from Italy, then it would be costing very much because the carriage cost itself will be a huge amount. And in addition to that, the exact material rate will also come up. If alternatively I am using the locally available marbles, then I could cut down the carriage cost and even without compromising the quality. Okay, this is just an instance where you can relate why carriage is an important component of rate analysis. Then coming on to the next part, we'll have the like here in the detailed rate analysis is not given. You can just refer into the rate. What will be the rate for each work? Like for an example, you can see here earthwork in surface excavation exceeding 30 centimeter and so and so. Here the unit is SQM, that is 1 square meter. For 1 square meter excavation on all kinds of soil, the rate is 107. But we will not be able to know what is the like you will not know what is the amount of earth used here, like rate of earth used here, earth used for filling. Okay. And you won't be knowing this type of labor is employed here. Is it a machine machine based excavation? That is, are you excavating the portion with the help of an excavator? Or are you employing people in order to do excavation? Is the carriage cost included? Is the transportation cost included? Is the GST included? All these questions remain questions. So we need detailed rate analysis in order to know whether this would suit the work that is going to be done in my site. Like the same conditions might not be applied to my site, could be different. So in order to understand what change I had to bring in order to relate the work at my site with the rate analysis given in this reference, I will need to know what is the split up coming under this. How is it a 107 arrived at? And for that, you have to go and refer DAR, that is the Delhi Analysis of Rates. Now here, when we similar to the DSR, we have here it's a different approach. It's not rate of materials, it's a rate analysis entirely given. And if I am going to the earthwork part, here also some basic rates are given in order for ease of reference. Now going on to the earthwork part, I'll have to scroll a lot. Range of materials. Okay. Earthwork. Now, the first same definition there. Earthwork in surface. Uh, Earthwork in surface excavation not exceeding 30 centimeter depth. The same condition. Here you can see the entire split up. What is the labor required? Then the other water charges, GST, CPOH, all this split up is clearly given. So that is the difference from what is rate and rate analysis. Rates means there's a price of one material or a resource, or the rate of that particular resource is mentioned. Rate analysis means what all resources will be required in order to complete 1 square meter of work. 1 square meter of work. What all are the resources required in order to complete 1 square meter of work, and what is the corresponding rate? That is the complete rate analysis part. Now, I'll share these both documents for your reference. You can go through them and try to understand. If you have any doubts relating this, you can ask in the group or mail. You can message Steffi or mail her, and she'll be forwarding the questions to me and I can answer them. Okay, just try going through this document, because by hearting all these values, I don't think it's that easy, but there are people who are able to by heart a lot, so they can try doing it also. Why is it so important? If you just make a mistake in like instead of giving 107 rupees, like if I like instead of 107 rupees, I'm writing as 150 rupees or 180 rupees, the amount of rate that is going to change, or the project budget is going to be affected completely. That is why we are giving utmost importance to rate analysis. If you're putting a wrong rate, you will end up messing the entire budget of the project. Okay, with this, the introduction part or estimation has been coming to an end. Now, I'll show you an example of estimate. Now, this is an example of estimation. You can see that it's an estimate prepared for a project. Now, each floor-wise estimation has been done. And towards the end, like if we go on for each material, slab, beam, door, etc., were considered, each entity were considered, the unit, the quantity, the individual rate per square meter, and the total rate is being calculated. And towards the end, we'll have the total rate, electrification cost, plumbing cost, all added up. Now, in order to prepare such a document manually, you might take days, hour, like days, month, weeks, or even months. Okay, if you're trying to do it manually. If it's a small project, it's not a big deal. But if it's a 20-story building and you're doing the manual estimation, then you might take weeks to complete it. and you might even make mistakes in completing it also, and checking the same will also take a lot of time. So some people would prefer doing in Excel, but the problem with Excel sheet is also that if something goes wrong in one end, it would make the entire thing wrong. And in order to prepare estimation, even with Excel also, it will take a lot of time. That is where we have developed software based estimation. There are various softwares available where we can prepare estimates, and Estimax is the software developed by Expert, which is our company. And in the second part of this presentation, we will be seeing into it. Hello, Dania. Hello, Dania. Am I audible?
Yes, yes. Hi, Rindu. Good evening, all.
Okay, I'll be passing over to her for taking the software-based estimation part.
Thank you. Is my screen is visible?
Yes,
Yes.
you can continue.
Yes.
Good evening, all. My name is Dania. I'm from estimation department. Today, I'm going to, in this second part of this presentation, I'm going to introduce our estimation software. As Rindu said that there is different types of estimation software which is generated, and the main advantage of the software estimation software is that we can compute the quantities within a short period of time. That is, we know that for manual estimation, we took 1 or 2 days or maximum 3 days. For in software, in while we are doing the estimation software, we can complete the entire process in within 3 to 4 hours. Okay, maximum 3 to 4 hours. Okay, that is, and it is depends upon the project, the square feet, how it is being there. Okay. Let us move on to the software introduction in our software. Xtmax is the software which we are using in our company, and it is an expert software. And we know that for estimation, basically there are two different methods. Manually, we are doing two different methods. That is central line method and long and short wall method. In this software, in our software, the central line method is followed for taking the quantity, for taking the computation. And it is the main advantage of our software. It is very user defined and user friendly software, and we can customize this software as our needs, and we can add the components if we want to compute the any quantity of any components. We can directly input the some set of equations, supporting equation, and thereby we can generate the quantity of that specific component. And it is basically this software is runs with the Estimax software is runs with AutoCAD or SWCAD. That is basically we need an AutoCAD drawing. Okay. From that AutoCAD drawing, we know that the AutoCAD drawing is basically 2D drawing. That is so from the 2D drawing, we are taking the quantities, 3D quantities. That is, we can take the volume, we can take the area. Okay. So like this, we are using this AutoCAD drawing and this Estimax software are interconnected with each other. And these, since they are linked with each other, they are communicating like layers, through layers. So that means we are using so this is the basically the AutoCAD drawing which we are prepared for taking the estimation. I told that the AutoCAD drawing that Estimate software is communicating with AutoCAD through layers. That means we are assigning each and every components in the building through specified in their own layers. That is, here we can see column, wall, and joineries, etc. Here I have assigned the column, the layer of this column uh, in column layer name, and that of wall we are taking in wall layer name. So like that we can assign the components, each and every components in the building in each layers. The major thing is that the layer name should be same we are using in Estimax software. Okay. So we got a quick estimation as we told earlier, and we got detailed and accurate result. The results are in the form of graphs. It can be in the form of reports, etc. So, and this software is connected with the ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning. It is a page in the software in the coming presentation. We will you will go through how what is ERP and
Have already introduced to ERP, so they know what it is. So, as Dania said, Estimax is related to ERP also. It is interconnected. You can upload the results in ERP and use it for generating 3D and also for reporting the work progress. There are so many other applications. You'll be seeing each and everything. Okay. I think you also received a class on estimation or 2D to 3D through Revit, and also you have also seen the work progress portion, work reporting progress also. Okay, work progress reporting. Sorry, I'm mixing it up. Okay, you can continue, Daniel.
Basically, there are four steps in estimation. That is, first is AutoCAD drawing preparation. And so, as we saw earlier, that we are assigning the each and every component of the building in particular layers, its own layers. And the second process is scanning. Yeah, simply we are scanning this AutoCAD drawing through Estimax software, and we got the output. We got the output in the form of 2D, 3D output, that is in volume and in area. That is based on that work. Then third part is the most important part is the rate analysis. The estimation is complete up to the rate analysis part. Here we can analysis. We got from the Estimax software. We got the report in the form of the rate analysis. That is for each. We got the. We can input the. We can input the rate of each and every materials, labors, etc., conveyance, etc. So we can provide the each and every steps in the construction. We can input the rate, and thus we got the output in the form of reports and graphs. Okay. And this is the basic interference of the software. Okay. In this in this you can see that there is the quantity we got each and we are taking the floor wise, we are scanning, or basically we are doing a scanning or entering the quantities of some of the materials or some of the components. So we can take we are scanning in the story wise, that is ground floor, first floor, second floor. In store, like in story wise we are scanning, the scanning process is done. And in this is an just an example of an interference. And here we can see that in the ground floor, we got the quantity after scanning. We got the quantities of each and every component like columns, lintels, beams, slab, etc. Sunshade and door, even door, even we got the how many door or how many lock and handle, the cost of that lock and handle. We got the entire output of even we are doing a single step for scanning. So we got the output, how many door, how many lock and handle, or how many DPC. So many even plastering, painting, finishing, all component, all the works we have got how much quantities is to be needed here. It is done a single step. Let me show you how it is. So and we got the quantities, and in this we got the corresponding rate, and we got the total amount of that rate. Okay, let me show you how this estimation software works. And here basically we have masters, different types of tabs here: masters, entries, tools, reports, etc. And each and every tabs we got, they have each and every uh, panels. Okay, in master, first of all we are setting a default values. In master, we are setting it is in the order, that is it. This soft estimation is done through in an order. That is, first of all we have to, in masters we have to set the default values. Here we can provide the default values of that our project. Based on the project we can provide the slab thickness, sunshade width, pedestal height, etc. Even we got the quantities. If there is any, if we want to calculate the quantities of a soffit tank, UG tank, uh, overhead tank, so like that, even that part also this software is doing. So we can provide how many peoples are occupancy of that particular building. Okay, after setting this project defaults, we are moving to, in masters itself, we are moving into the story. In story option, we can provide how many story we can input, or we can input the soft, how many story. That is, if it is a G+3 building, we can provide ground floor, first floor, second floor, and third floor. Likewise, that is the new story can be created here. We can create the new story here, and also each and every story we are providing some of the details. That is, we are providing the story name, then story height, brick height, etc. So the entire, if we want to see the how many project, if we want to input, generally we are inputting how many story in the building. In this step we are providing. Okay. Next step is joinery. We can directly scan the joinery table. That is, in AutoCAD drawing, basically there is a, we are drawing a joinery table here. So just pick this drawing, and it is automatically entered in this drawing, in this interface, in this Estimax software. So the lintel depth and etc. are providing in this step, and the dimensions is automatically entered by scan. We are scanning this AutoCAD drawing schedule, joinery schedule. So after that, we are saving this window and move to the. We are starting. We are starting to scan the
Okay.
components
Uh,
based on the story wise.
we have seen that how we're entering the basic information into the system. Like we'll be creating the number of stories, then we'll be entering the joineries. Then the next part will be like we'll be scanning input to the Estimax file. Like we have two different softwares working. Like AutoCAD is one separate software and Estimax is another separate software. We have to link them. So in order to do that, we'll have to scan AutoCAD drawing into the Estimax. Uh, into the software estimates. Okay, that part she'll be saying now. Continue,
Okay.
Dania.
Next, I want to scan the components of ground floor. First of all, the ground floor is consist of slab. We know that there are basic structural components of a building is slab, beam, column, beam and column, then that brick, wall, etc. So first of all, we are in ground floor. Let me show how this slab is scanned here. Take this option here. We the window is up here, and here we can provide the slab depth, that is slab thickness. And here we can provide, if there is any deduction in this process, we can provide the deduction. First of all, let me show how the scan the roof slab, how to scan the roof slab. So in this, I have to enter the how much depth the slab to be. If it is 11 centimeter thickness. Okay, pick slab. Here I have drawn a supporting a polyline for slab here. Then I have chosen this polyline here, and just click the enter. Here we can see that the slab is inserted. Sorry, we have outer brick should be yes.
It's okay, Daniel. You just keep going. Okay. We'll have a detailed class on this later. You'll be just seeing how it works. Basic working will be just shown. Okay.
Okay, the roof slab is entered. If there is any deduction in the drawing, that is like if there is any deduction, if there is any duct or the deduction for the staircase. For that, if there is any lift is there, so that part we have to detect the roof slab of that particular build, that particular story, right? So for in order to detect that portion here, now we scan the entire slab. Next step, we have to detect if there is any deduction process. So next step for in order to detect, we have deduction should be yes. Outer brick should be no. And we are for deduction, I have done. I have drawn a polyline here. So pick slab, pick that polyline, deduction polyline, and the deduction for that part is done here. And again for the duct, we have to detect that portion. Okay, slab deduction is done like this. Next portion, we in this next step we can provide the sunshade if there is.
Similarly, you can do for sunshade also. Just go with it because we are short of time. Okay. You just show it in concise form. You'll have a detailed class in the coming sessions. Okay. Now just save and go to the arc part.
So
Okay.
this how we are scanning the slab details. Here we can see that the slab quantity is entered automatically entered here. It is in the form of cubic feet. The unit can be unit can be it is our we can in this template in this estimation template we are taking the square feet in square feet and cubic feet in that unit. We can customize it is in our needs like this meter cube in square meter etc. In this template it is following the square feet and cubic feet. Like that so that it is we got the quantity in that units itself. So based on the units, we can take the different template. We can customize our software with that particular units if we that we need. The next process is to scan this architectural drawing, this architectural plan. This consists of wall columns. That is the column which we have provided. That is means to trim in order to trim that wall portion. So that's why in architectural drawing we are providing the column here. It is the software will automatically trim that center line.
And the logic here is that when we are considering center lines, we have to remove the portion of the columns. Otherwise, column is in RCC and the walls are in brick masonry. These are two different materials and the rate analysis will be different for them. So in order to reduce that do that deduction, we are providing the columns even in the arc diagram. Okay, just go to the scanning part, Daniel.
In this window for scanning the architectural details, we are scanning the wall joineries, etc. So in this part, we have in properties we can provide the layer that is wall the layer name which is same as it should be same as that we are providing in the AutoCAD drawing. It is the uppercase. If it is in uppercase, we have to enter in uppercase. If it is lowercase, so like that, it should be matched with each other. So after providing the layer name, we can provide the layer name of the column. How we are providing that in the drawing. So this here we can this is a width of the brick which we are using the maximum width and default width. Here in this project I have using the 23 centimeter and 10.76 centimeter thickness brick. So this software will automatically scan within this 25 centimeter. below 25 centimeter. If it is 30 centimeter brick, it will not scan. Below 25 centimeter, this software, right now the software will scan. If it is above, if we want 30 centimeter brick is there, we have to enter the maximum width as 30 centimeter. But in this project, it is only below 25 centimeter. Okay. After setting this property, just simply move on to the scan layout, and the drawing will automatically will appears in the window. And here we can it is ready for the scan. Here we can see that the in cursor we can see that there select, we have to select the object, that is select the plan. Just drag, simply drag the drag and select the drawing plan, and just press enter key. The central line will automatically generated, that automatically drawn. Here we can see that the central line is automatically drawn here. It will cover all the wall layers and all the joineries. It will take all the quantities of all joineries which we are providing. Okay, once scanning is complete, in this window, we are providing the four corrections. The basics, the why we are providing these corrections is that in drawing we can see the central line is this is the central line is generated right now, and the central line is passing through these columns. And there should be a corrections for the junction here. Manually, we know that there is a junction correction in the for estimation process. So in order to correct, in order to trim out that those central lines, we have to do these four corrections. Find if there is any overlapping center line, it will automatically deduct off, and trim brick lines inside. If there is any brick lines is inside the column, it will automatically trim off. Then rejoin brick lines. If there is any brick lines are far apart, it will automatically rejoin. And if there is any T junction correction, it will automatically trim corrected that part, and will give the corrected center line of this building, of this floor, specified ground floor. Here we can see the depth height. Depth means the height of that brick. Then length is center line length, and if it is outside or inside, we can tick or untick. That is, it is basically in outer plaster, inner plaster. After scanning in single this step, we got even the plastering painting quantity. This will calculate the plastering and painting quantity. So outer plastering, inner plastering, outer painting, inner painting. So for that we are taking outside and
Even
inside.
show, even
Okay.
show it in the table.
Okay. And joinery is provided here.
Okay, now you can see that earlier only slab was available. The quantity for slab was available. Now we have the quantity for lintel, DPC, block work, doors, windows, etc. Okay, that is the part where all architectural elements have been scanned. Now we are moving on to the structure scan part. Continue.
And the main specialty of the software is that we can provide the centerline numbering. Why we what's the reason why we are providing the centerline numbering is that it will detect that particular component. That is, if for the project, if that particular, if we have want to edit that wall thickness, or if we want to edit that wall height, we can automatically get into that part. That is, when we click the alt plus that any number, any, this is centerline number. Here, after I have providing the centerline number, here we can the centerline number is generated here. So I have taking this 32 number centerline. This will automatically gives which wall is that. If we want to edit that particular wall, we can easily identify the particular wall here. So this is a major or basic advantage of the software. Later in after if there is any corrections or if there is any updations in the structural side or in any side, we can easily, if we have this estimation file, we can easily detect that, or we can easily edit that component, that particular, if the column has is removed here, or if there is any column is added anywhere, we can add the column and then scan, and it will come up with the total. It is rescheduled automatically. Okay. Next, in order to scan this beam column layout, move on to the scan roof beam column layout, move on to the scan structural drawing. And here the same process, that is we have to provide the corrected layer name. Here in this drawing, I have given the layer name as outer beam, inner beam, C beam, etc. Okay, outer beam,
Okay, you can
C beam, inner
give the
beam.
layer name as per her requirement for that project. Here she have used 4 different types based on her project requirement. Okay.
Then column name is to be provided. In this process, actually the column quantity is calculated. Beam and column quantity is calculated in this process. So for scanning the layout, just click on to scan layout and just scan this drawing. Okay, the central line number is generated. After the scan is completed, the same step we have to provide the 4 correction. Okay, the central line numbers of each and every beam is generated here. Just simply save this. Here we can, this is an abstract form of which all the beams are we are using for scanning. The beam name or beam size is it is in the form of, in abstract form. We got the all the informations which is in the that particular story. Okay, after that we got the quantity in square feet, in cubic feet of beam and rectangular column. So like this, we are scanning the roof beam and column layout. Next, we in entries portion, in this we can provide the footing quantity. We can different types. These 2 types of footing we can provide the. We can calculate the footing quantity if it is in a step footing or it is can be in a slope footing. Here we can provide it the number of steps. Isolated footing, that is step footing is basically isolated footing, that is shallow foundation, and this is we can see that how many steps have to be provided here in this particular isolated step footing, and the number of footing in that particular we can provide the length and breadth, length, breadth, and height of that particular each and every steps here. And if the number of footing, if there is any 6 number of F1 type footing, we can provide 6 here. If there is any 3 F2 footing, and we can provide the number of footing as 3 here, and name is provided here. It is like F2, and C is the pedestal height. This is the height. Basically, this pedestal height means this is the ground level from ground level, the top of that step, top surface of that step. This the pedestal height. Here we got the pedestal quantities of the pedestal column. Then simply save this window and then close. We got the footing PCC, RCC value here. Earth filling, even we got the earth filling by entering this footing values. By entering these dimensions of that footing, we got the earth filling, earthwork excavation also. Next, Next process is stair to add the stair quantity. In this window, we can provide the stair width of the stair, the dimensions of the stair. If the dimension in this CAD drawing, we can see that there is a stair, internal stair is provided. In this, for entering the quantity, for taking the quantities of stair, it is not a scan process. It is we are input the values of the dimension. We are providing the dimensions of that particular stair, like we are providing the stair with thread, rise, and number of steps, etc. So after entering these inputs over here, just calculate the quantity and just click the save button. It will automatically calculate the volume of that particular stair. We got the stair. We got the stair in the if the staircase total concrete quantity is required for the stair, and we got the thread and rise finishes in the form of square feet. That is, in thread and rise, we know that there is a finishing material is provided, right? That is marble, granite, etc. So the how much square feet, total square feet, how much is required for that particular story, ground floor story. We got that correct information. Okay. There is next we are scanning the CAD utility. That is, CAD utility means there is basically 6 CAD utility here. That is anti-skid, plinth, etc. Let me show you in the drawing what is CAD utility means. In this drawing, there is CAD utility. The CAD utilities are drawings in the form of a polyline. So this in plinth CAD utility, just simply scanning this CAD utility, plinth utility.
Tanya. CAD utility, what we are using it is like some portions wherein you have special calculations which might not apply for all projects. Okay. In some project requirements, we might need new definitions or equations which we are uh, doing in the basis of new layers or levels. And those like calculate is like we want to calculate the finishing of kitchen platform, then or we have to calculate the anti-skip tile provided, some random quantities which we have to calculate, which we won't get by direct scanning, like by scanning the column beam or by doing the arc scan. We won't get that quantities. These are quantities we have to scan separately. So CAD utilities is a tab where you can scan new quantities and create equations, and based on which you can estimate the quantity. Okay, Daniel, just move on to the report part because we are in short of time.
The output, the last step is the Estimax is the software is generated. The output can be in the form of the report and graph. That is, we have different types of reports are available here. Abstract, so story wise reports, split up reports, work wise report. Let me show you what is it. This is an example of a story-wise report. It is automatically generated. How it is story-wise report is providing here. Within a seconds, we can generate the report. Okay, like that. Likewise, we are generating different types of reports in this process. In story-wise report, the quantities, the computation are providing in the story-wise. That is foundation story, ground story. In foundation story, which all calculation, computation, and its rate, total, etc. Total earthwork. Each the category, the in floor-wise categories provided. The work category. In ground floor, the total concrete quantity for column and its rate, then beam also that in this rate. So in each and it is the output is visible in the form of a story wise. So each and every story we can see how much quantity is needed for each and every component of that particular story. Okay, next is work wise report. In work wise report, it is generated like the total quantity is needed for column, that's entire project, for that entire project. It is split up. The split up will provided here, that is in ground floor, how much it is, and headroom how much, and it is in total. In general, how much concrete quantity is required for taking the column. And likewise, we can there is different components. We can it is different total quantity, and its rate is generated. It is in the work wise. Okay, for beam, for column, etc. Next is rate analysis report. In this rate analysis report, the rate analysis of each and every work is providing here, that is man, material, etc. Okay, for this, these are the specification which we are provided in the footing calculation, and these are the materials, how much material is needed, how much and how much amount of material is needed, and how many labors is needed for it is in the unit day. The labors are calculating per day, and how many labors is required for that completing that footing process, footing component. Cement, coarse aggregate, fine aggregate, based on the based on the grade of cement, the quantity of coarse and fine aggregate is equally distributed here, and the quantity it is we got the
The same thing we discussed earlier, like how rate analysis part we did see in the DAR. The same thing you can enter in Estimax and get a report of the same. Okay, for each project, the rate analysis might vary. So you can keep a report in hand in order to show how did you arrive at that particular rate for that particular work. Okay, now on to the next report.
This is a tendering report. This is the complete report which we got, complete information. It is the complete of all those reports which we had seen earlier. That is, we got the rate details. In this report, we got the rate details. We got the rate analysis. In this, we have this different sheet. Here, we got the BOQ of that particular project, and we got the material is needed for that particular project, and we got the miscellaneous, that if there is any conveyance or if there is any small execution part. So that small miscellaneous components, miscellaneous works, that part is we got that information from here. And then labor, how many labors is required for that particular work, and its rate, how much rate is will be there. We got this information from this page, and if there is any machineries is required for the construction part of that particular component, it is automatically gives in this portion. Okay, this is a tendering is the main that's a basics of all the reports.
Okay, tender documents are mainly like when we start a work, the client directly won't be constructing. He would be awarding the work to a contractor. In order to select which contractor we are awarding the work, we'll ask them to quote the estimate or the tender documents. So we'll give the quantity to the contractor. They will put the rate required and give back the document. The document they give back is called a tender document, and the document we give them, the quantity containing document, is called the BOQ, bill of quantities. Okay, is that clear? Any clarification required in that? Uh, Hello? I think we can continue, Dania. Over to the next report.
Next report is detailed report. In this detailed report, we got the material, that is detailed report. That is how much, if we want to know how much quantity of 20 coarse aggregate is needed for which all purposes, which all construction construction of component purposes. We got that amount, that is quantity over here, and total quantity, how much quantity we have to take from the shop. It is also we got the clear idea about how much material or how much sand, how much cement is required. So likewise for each and every material. Okay.
Okay. Now we saw a list of reports. Okay, first one was the work-wise report, story-wise report, where the report is categorized in different stories. In the next one was the work-wise report. Now, the difference is that in story-wise, the materials or rates are shown in terms of stories, whereas in work-wise, we are giving importance to the work, like a column, being construction, earthwork. The work is given importance, whereas in story-wise, the story of floor is given importance. Application of story-wise report is that when we are having a budget of 10 lakhs and we are trying to construct an apartment, you will be thinking how much floors can be constructed. Based on this estimate, you will decide how many floors or how many stories we can construct with that 10 lakhs budget. Okay, that is the way we can relate a story wise report. And work wise report, it's mainly like the total quantity of work involved is considered. Like when we award the work to a contractor, he will be using it to understand how much of work is involved in that. Then we have the tender documents and split up reports. Then finally, we also saw the rate analysis part and the detail sheet. Detail the last one material report is mainly for purchase of materials or use of these materials in the site. Okay. Now, I think there are a lot of information given to you on today's date. Just go through the video again and again and think through it. Just try to answer the doubts within yourself, or you can also ask us. Now, at the end of the session, I'll be posting a quiz in your group. You can attempt it within 30 minutes. And based on your answers, you will be given points. And these points will be collectively added up and you will be recognized based on the points. Okay. So the quiz will be posted at 9:10 and it will be closed by 9:40. You can do it within that time. Most questions are related to the today's presentation. And with this, we are winding up. I would like to know what are the things you expect from us, or what are the things you want clarification in order to host a continuation session of this one. Okay, can anyone give me a feedback? What are your doubts? What are your worries about building this session? Okay, I need a feedback. Can someone unmute and say, like, was it too congested? Was the information too much to understand? Do you want a clarification class, or do you need some other help, or what are your expectations? Can someone unmute and convey the same? Like, estimation is not a simple topic; it is a big, vast topic, and we are trying to convey the same in a short time. So I think it's too much information in a short period. Um, like, do you want to convey something? Darren, what did you feel about today's session? Was it too much information? Darren John, please unmute and
Hello.
respond. Ah, yes, you're audible.
Yeah, okay, ma'am. Today's session was quite informative, but as you said, it was too much. So
Okay, Darren, I think you can just replay the video recording when it's posted, and when you have doubts, you just surely ask. Okay, we can have an additional session in order to clear your doubts also. Okay, is there any doubt that strike you right now?
right.
Hello.
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
Any doubts you want to clarify?
No, ma'am. No doubt.
Okay, okay. Just watch the session and come back to us. Okay.
Okay.
Sri Lakshmi, can you just unmute
Ye-
and give your feedback?
Hello,
Hello.
ma'am.
Ah, yeah, you're audible.
I,
Hello.
I it was uh, a quite large session for me, and lots of
Okay.
ideas. And hello,
Ah, yeah, you are audible. I'm listening.
uh, I had get lots of knowledge from you, and thank you for that. That's all, ma'am.